You know that feeling, right? You walk out of a movie or finish an amazing book, you're absolutely buzzing, but when you try to explain why it was so great, you just can't find the words. Well, today, we're going to fix that. We are diving into all the key vocabulary you need to talk about films and books like you're a seasoned pro. Yeah, it happens to all of us. You've just been on this incredible emotional roller coaster, and the best you can come up with is, it was really good. And you know it doesn't do it justice, does it? So let's give you the right words to go way beyond just good and have a really great, insightful conversation. Okay, first up, let's step into what I'm calling the critic's corner. We're going to borrow some of the key language the professionals use so you can frame your own opinions and sound way more confident when you're giving a recommendation. So let's start with the absolute basics. A review is really just a structured opinion. And a critic, honestly, the only real difference between your thoughts and theirs is that they get paid for it. So you see, every single time you tell a friend what you thought of a new movie, you're already being a reviewer. Now, let's just make your reviews even better. These phrases right here, they're like the building blocks for any solid review. I mean, think about it. You can build your whole opinion around them. You could say something like, "So I just saw this film that's based on a true story. It really deals with the topic of survival. And the opening scene, wow, it is one of the most intense I've ever seen. And, I won't spoil it, but let's just say it doesn't have a typical happy ending." See? Just like that, you've given a detailed, really intriguing review. Now, what about that movie or book that just completely blows you away? You could just say, "It was awesome," or "You have to see it." But just listen to the difference when you say, "It comes highly recommended." It's simple, it's clean, and it just has so much more authority, right? It sounds like you've really thought about it and you're giving it your official stamp of approval. All right, so now we know how to talk about the finished thing. Let's go behind the scenes. We're going to pull back the curtain a little and learn the lingo for how these stories actually get made, how they go from a script all the way to the big screen. This quote really just says it all, doesn't it? For so many people in Hollywood, the ultimate dream is the Oscar. But getting nominated, let alone winning one, that's the very last step of a really, really long journey. So how does a simple idea turn into a huge award-winning blockbuster? Well, that journey kicks off when producers cast the film. They've got to find those perfect actors. Then it's time to actually shoot the film, which is just when all the scenes get recorded. The main actor, the one who stars in the film, is the one who carries the whole story. And if every single step is done right, the result is a box office hit, a movie that makes a ton of money and everyone loves. Let's add a few more handy terms to your toolkit. Of course, the best place to experience a movie is on the big screen. So many of today's blockbusters rely on mind-blowing special effects. You might praise an actor for how well they play the role of a villain, and you should always, always keep an eye out for a fun cameo role. Like when Stan Lee used to pop up in all the Marvel movies. Okay, let's close the curtain on Hollywood and open up a brand new chapter. We're shifting from the silver screen over to the printed page, or, well, the e-reader screen, to explore the language of the modern reader. You know that feeling when you are so completely lost in a story that someone has to call your name like 3 times before you even hear them? That's what it means to be engrossed in a book. Or how about when a book is so thrilling you find yourself staying up until 2 a.m. just to finish one more chapter? That's compulsive reading. And then for a chill Sunday afternoon, there's nothing better than an easy read, something fun and light that you can just breeze through. Of course, reading isn't just about paper anymore, is it? We can download an audiobook for our commute, or maybe flick through a book in a bookstore to see if we like it. But hey, whether it's on a screen or on paper, probably the best compliment you can ever give an author is to say their work is beautifully written. That phrase, it really speaks to the artistry and the craft of the writing itself. All right, for our final section, let's really level up. We're going to go over a couple of super common mistakes. Honestly, getting these little details right is the fastest way to go from sounding like a casual fan to sounding like a real pro. Okay, this one is huge. A review is a balanced opinion. It can be positive, negative, or somewhere in the middle. But to criticize something, that's almost always negative. So think of it like this. All criticism can be part of a review, but not all reviews contain criticism. A critic might review a film and praise everything except for the acting, which they criticize. See the difference? And here's a super simple one that makes a huge difference. You watch a film on your TV at home, but you go to see a film at the cinema. It's such a small detail, I know, but getting it right is one of those little signs that you're a really fluent, confident speaker. So now it's your turn. I want you to think about it. What was the last book you read that was so beautifully written, you were just completely engrossed in it?
or the last film you saw on the big screen that you would now highly recommend. Your challenge is to use the vocabulary we've talked about today to explain why it was just so great. You've got the tools. Go on, sound like the expert you are.